Hi guys, it's Chris from Inspired Body Transformation here, and in today's video I'm going to talk about 5 of the most common weight loss mistakes that I regularly see. Number 5, and I'll tell you this for a little story. So one of my clients recently had a conversation with her, and in her first week she lost £5, so she was over the moon. The second week she lost £3, the third week she lost £2. This week, in week 4, she's lost £1.5, and she felt a little bit disappointed by that. And this is one of the most common mistakes that I see people do, is become disappointed by losing a really good amount of weight. If you take the time to Google £1 of fat, you will see how much that is. It's a really large amount to lose, but what most people get into the impression of is that they should be losing that 4 or 5 pounds every single week, and it's just not feasible. The reason why you lose so much weight quickly in the first couple of weeks is because your body is losing fat, but also it's losing water, primarily because most people lower the amount of carbohydrates that they're eating when they first start a diet plan. So that's number 5, is that most people overestimate their amount of weight that they should be losing every single week, and then what happens is they become disheartened because of that. So don't become disheartened. Realise that you should be aiming to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week, and that's a great amount to lose. Number 4 is overestimating the amount of time that it takes to actually exercise. So how many times have you heard people say, I don't have time to exercise, or I would do if I had more time, things like that. Now, if you take a quick look at my YouTube channel, you will see loads of workouts where I think the longest one is actually 25 minutes, the shortest one is about 8 minutes. So for those people who don't think they've got time for exercise, can you find 8 minutes in your day to actually squeeze in exercise? And the answer should always be yes. There should always be 8 minutes in your day where you can at least find that time to exercise. So that is number 4, and is that people think they don't have time to exercise because 3 is always doing the same routine. So I've been working in gyms now since I was 17 years old, and probably the most common workout that I see is this. People come into the gym and they do 10 to 15 minutes on the treadmill, 10 to 15 minutes on the cross trainer, 10 to 15 minutes on the bike, and then 10 to 15 minutes on the rower, give themselves a little high five, and then they leave. Now that's a great introductory gym program. However, what happens to the body is the body adapts to that, and every 6 weeks you should be looking to change that, but people don't, maybe because they're not sure what they should be doing, or because they actually enjoy training like that. But what happens is either the body stops adapting, or you get bored of that routine. So you need to mix it up, throw in some HIIT sessions. So there's loads of HIIT sessions on this program. Have a look in the workouts, but also mixing it up will make it much more fun for you, and it will increase your metabolism too. So avoid getting into the habit of doing the same routine every single day or a couple of times per week, because like I say, the body will adapt and you will stop seeing the results that you initially saw when you first. So number 2 is only using scales. So scales are the only form of measurement that are used to track their progress. Scales don't show stuff like hydration levels, so you can't see whether the fact that if you've started a healthy eating program, you start drinking more water, that your body soaks that water up. Also, scales can fluctuate, particularly with females, depending on the time of the month, things like that. There's loads of other reasons as well, but people become so fixated with scales, and it's almost like their whole week depends on the results that they see. If they look down and they're not happy with the number that they see, then it can ruin their whole week. And the amount of clients that have had messaged me saying the scales have not given them what they wanted, and all of a sudden they're like, what's the point, I might as well give up, I'm just going to eat this, blah blah blah, what I've done been good for all this week for 1 measly pound, that sort of stuff. Whereas actually what could happen is that you could lose more weight and you could increase your water weight, so therefore you could stay the same. But also you've got to remember that if you are lifting weights, or if you've started doing HIIT training, that can increase your muscle mass too, and muscle is denser than fat. So a pound of muscle is about the size of a golf ball, whereas a pound of fat is, if you get like a pound of butter, that's the size of a pound of fat. So like I said in one of the earlier tips, Google 1 pound of fat and you will see how much it actually is. So don't just use scales to track your progress. Take pictures, do measurements, do the waist, the hip measurements, arm measurements, calf measurements, thigh measurements. So get a tape measure out and do it. Take before pictures, take progress pictures, front, back, side views as minimal. If you can get like a body scan, go and do one of those, even if it's one every 6 weeks, but just track it in some form of a than just using the scales. And whether it is your dress size as well, anything like that, use as many different variables as you can, add them together, and that can tell you whether your results. And while I'm on it, don't get caught up in using the scales every single day. The amount of people that weigh in every single day and then let their day depend on what the scales show is absolutely enormous. So you should be weighing in once per week as an absolute maximum. If your goal is to lose weight, as long as they're showing a downward trend, then that's all that really matters. If you drop weight every single week, that's tremendous, but most people don't lose weight like that. Weight loss isn't linear. Some weeks you might go up a pound, some weeks you might drop 3 pounds, depending on whether you went out. I've had people message me saying that they've gone out on a night out and eaten crap and all of a sudden they've lost weight. How is that possible? I might just do this all the time. And it's just a case of they might have just flushed water out. So don't just use the scales, use other stuff too, like I say, like pictures and things like that to track your progress. And finally, number one, so the most common mistake that I see is that people are not eating to complement their body style. So we have 3 different somatotypes. So we have a mesomorph, which is somebody who's naturally muscly, an ectomorph, which is somebody who's naturally quite tall, skinny, doesn't get fat really easily, and we have an endomorph, which is the opposite of an ectomorph, so somebody that gains weight pretty easily. So if you have an endomorphic person, so to put it in perspective, everyone's got that friend, haven't they? They can eat whatever the hell they want, so they can literally eat as many donuts as they want, they can eat chocolate until it's coming out of their ears, they can eat whatever the hell they want and not put on weight. And then sometimes we feel like we even look at a donut and we gain weight. So that's a natural endomorphic person versus an ectomorphic person, and they cannot follow the same dietary guidelines and the same dietary rules when they are trying to lose weight. So what they need to do is you need to find something that works exactly for you. So for an endomorphic person, which is probably the most common person who's trying to lose weight, that needs to be a diet that is generally restricted in carbohydrates other than after when you exercise. And it's one of the most common mistakes that I see is that most people who are trying to lose weight will have carbohydrates with every single meal. And by carbohydrates, I don't mean vegetables, I mean like pasta, potatoes, that sort of stuff, starchy carbohydrates, bread. So they'll have stuff like that with every single meal, when actually what they should be doing is having those after they've worked out only, and every other meal should be high in protein and high in fats. So that's it from me. So they're the most 5 common mistakes that you ever see. I will go into somatotypes more in the next video. So if you've liked what you heard and you've gained something from it, please give me a like, drop me a comment, and please subscribe for more videos like this. And I will speak to you all soon. Bye bye.